The world of radio, comedy, and entertainment in Atlanta has been struck with a heavy blow as the news of Wanda Smith's death spread, just one day after she celebrated her 59th birthday. The iconic radio personality and comedian, known for her witty sense of humor and infectious energy, passed away unexpectedly, leaving behind an indelible legacy that will forever be etched in the hearts of her fans, friends, and family. The former V103 radio station, where she had spent the bulk of her career, confirmed the tragic news, sending waves of sadness across the community that had grown to love her through their radios every morning. Smith was more than just a voice on the radio. She was a vibrant and influential figure within Atlanta's entertainment scene. She co-hosted the hugely popular Frank Ski and Wanda in the Morning Show, which became a staple of Atlanta's airwaves. Her on-air chemistry with Frank Ski, her sharp comedic timing, and her knack for addressing relevant community issues with compassion made her a beloved personality. Whether discussing social issues, joking with guests, or talking about her personal experiences, Wanda brought something unique to Atlanta radio. Her ability to connect with people was unparalleled, and it was this genuine connection that made her a household name throughout the region. In an Instagram post announcing her death, V103's senior vice president, Rick Caffey, expressed the sorrow felt across the station and the community. His words resonated deeply with the thousands of listeners who had tuned in to hear Wanda for years. Our hearts are weighing heavier today as we grieve the loss of our beloved Wanda Smith, someone who always made us smile and who was a big part of V103 for years, Caffey wrote. His statement continued, "We extend our deepest prayers and condolences to her family." Caffey's heartfelt words captured the collective grief, as listeners and colleagues alike reflected on Wanda's impact, not just on the airwaves but also on the many lives she touched throughout her career. Caffey highlighted that Wanda was much more than a comedian or radio host. She was someone who genuinely cared for her community. Behind the scenes, she was involved in numerous charitable efforts, often championing causes that didn't always make the headlines. Wanda's impact touched lives beyond making us laugh. Many times, she championed efforts behind the scenes to make a difference in the lives of those who were without, Caffey explained. These efforts included helping underprivileged families, organizing events to raise awareness for various causes, and using her platform to give a voice to those who might not otherwise have had one. Wanda's work was rooted in empathy, and that sense of compassion was evident to all who knew her. Smith's career at V103 began in 1997, marking the beginning of a decades-long journey that solidified her place as a cornerstone of Atlanta's entertainment scene. Starting out as part of a morning show team, Wanda quickly became a standout personality, her voice becoming one of the most recognizable in Atlanta. It wasn't long before she and co-host Frank Ski created a partnership that would last for more than 2 decades. Their show, Frank Ski and Wanda in the Morning, became a must-listen for many Atlantans on their daily commutes. Listeners tuned in religiously, not just for the entertainment value, but for the sense of community that Wanda and Frank fostered through their interactions with callers, guests, and each other. Her comedic flair, combined with her ability to discuss serious topics in a meaningful way, made her a beloved figure on the show. Whether she was interviewing celebrities or having fun with prank calls, Wanda's warmth and authenticity shone through. She had a natural ability to make people laugh, even when discussing the most mundane of topics. Over the years, the duo interviewed countless celebrities, politicians, and other notable figures, with Wanda always managing to balance humor and insight in her approach. It was this blend of entertainment and substance that made Frank Ski and Wanda in the Morning so special to Atlanta's radio listeners. But her role in the entertainment industry wasn't confined to radio. Wanda was a comedian at heart, and her stand-up career was just as influential as her time on the radio. She often performed weekly at the Atlanta Comedy Theater, where she became known for her relatable humor and quick wit. Her material often drew from her own life experiences, making her performances feel personal and authentic to her audience. Wanda's comedy was a reflection of who she was, unapologetically honest, sharp, and always with an underlying warmth that made people feel like they were in on the joke with her. She also broke into television, making appearances in several Tyler Perry films, including Madea Goes to Jail and Medea's Witness Protection. These appearances further solidified her status as a multi-talented entertainer. Wanda had the ability to adapt to different mediums. Whether she was on stage, behind a microphone, or in front of a camera, she had a presence that was undeniable. Her versatility as a performer was evident in how seamlessly she moved between radio, television, and stand-up comedy, bringing her unique style and voice to each platform. However, one of the more controversial moments in her career occurred in 2018, when Wanda Smith made headlines for a heated exchange with comedian Cat Williams during a live interview on V103. What began as playful banter between the two comedians quickly escalated into a brutal verbal sparring match, with Williams launching a series of scathing insults directed at Smith. The exchange went viral, with millions of people viewing the clip online and discussing the fallout. It was a moment that would have a lasting impact on her career. In the days following the incident, tensions between Smith and Williams escalated further when the two encountered each other at an event that same weekend. Confrontation became physical, with police being called to defuse the situation. The altercation made headlines across the country, putting Smith at the center of a media storm. Many were divided on the incident. Some saw Williams' attack as a harsh but typical move in the world of comedy, while others felt he had crossed a line. Regardless of opinion, the exchange had a lasting impact on Wanda, both personally and professionally. In 2019, shortly after the incident, Wanda Smith left V103, marking the end of an era for both the radio station and her fans. Many speculated that her departure was tied to the fallout from her confrontation with Williams, though the exact reasons were never confirmed. Regardless, her absence from the morning show left a void that was felt throughout Atlanta. Fans who had grown accustomed to hearing her voice each morning were left with a palpable sense of loss. Despite leaving the station, Wanda remained active in the entertainment industry, continuing to perform stand-up comedy and making occasional appearances on television. Even in the years after she left V103, Wanda's influence remained strong. She was a mentor to many up-and-coming comedians, offering advice, guidance, and encouragement to those following in her footsteps. Her legacy within the comedy world was not only built on her own success but also on the ways in which she helped to uplift others. She had an innate ability to see potential in people and wanted to help them succeed. For many, she wasn't just a comedian or a radio host. She was a role model, a trailblazer, and a friend. Upon her passing, V103 paid tribute to her legacy in a special Sunday morning praise program, hosted by Larry Tinsley. The station opened its phone lines to listeners who wanted to share their memories of Wanda, and the response was overwhelming. Calls poured in from fans who had listened to her for years, sharing stories of how Wanda had touched their lives. Many spoke of her kindness, her ability to make them laugh, and how much they would miss hearing her voice on the radio. Some recalled the ways in which Wanda had used her platform to give back to the community, organizing charity events, hosting fundraisers, and providing a voice for those in need.